So this is our spring 2020 wrap-up reflections. And I am serving as a facilitator for you today because you are the presenters. You are the ones who have experienced this. I have two, but I'm only one person. And it's what you bring to the table that makes this such a valuable opportunity, the chance for us all to share in the experiences that we've had, the lessons that we've learned, and the opportunities that we've had to really make this effective for our students. So as we go through our day today, we will take a look at those reflections on the semester. We're going to be thinking about our concerns for our students. And we will be taking a look. One of the phrases that I have heard many times over the last few weeks is the opportunity to humanize online learning. And so we're going to think about all of this from a new perspective. So I'm looking forward to that. As we have been making these transitions, one of the things that we have really realized is the importance of effective and consistent communication. I have heard this from a number of different faculty members that reaching out to their students multiple times, saying things over again, and I know several that continually let their students know, one, that we are concerned, please reach out to us, and here's what we need to accomplish. One of the other lessons is flexibility in all aspects of where we are and where we are going. So being flexible in how we handle all the parts about the teaching. So being able to make adjustments in our assignments, in our in how what we expect of them, and how we are doing different things. Many have changed formats for what we're doing, and that's absolutely fine, because throughout the transition, what's important is to consider our student needs, to make sure that we know that we are doing as much as we possibly can to help support them in where they are going. The feedback that we are giving them gives them that my instructor cared. That was a quote from one of the sessions, is knowing that my instructor cared about it. So I'm going to give you an opportunity at this point to put in the chat or open your mic if you would like any tips that you have for making these transitions more effective. Any thoughts, any ideas?
Nanal Davari said, I improvised by creating a Microsoft form for compiling student questions and answers from emails they sent to me.
Excellent. Great idea. Thank you. And she said Nina is.
Oh, Nina. Okay, great. And then Nancy Shahada said, thank you. It has been an interesting semester. Great topic.
Yeah, interesting in I would say every aspect of the word, right? Oh, look at that. Nina made another comment. You want to share with all of us?
Yep. Nina also said, before this, I did not know how to create Microsoft Forms to create quizzes.
Excellent. And later on in the presentation, I have a couple of suggestions for some things that you can use as we're looking to start yet another semester in, oh my gosh, just a couple of weeks. This comes from someone that I have followed for a number of years, Michelle Pacansky-Brock. Is one that focuses on the humanizing aspect of online learning, and she is a mentor for the community schools of California, for all of them, and I forget how many she said were in there. So, and her take on it is uh, social distancing. Yeah, not so much. Physical distancing, yes, of course, but we still need social distancing is vital for to slow the spread of this, but it also pushes against our one of those fundamental needs to connect with one another. And so what we want to do is have a focus. The antidote is connection. So I'm going to invite you to think about and put in the chat that some of the connections, meaningful connections, occur online all the time. So in the chat, please share an example of how you have connected with others even during all of this. And Emily, if as those come in, if you would please let us know, share them with everyone.
Sure.
Connection of how we have connected with each other, even in this.
So Daniel Miroff said, love this. Physical distancing is definitely more accurate. Nancy Ada says, family Zoom call with my whole family.
Oh, yes, those are fun. Those are fun. I've done that several times. Yeah, nice, nice. Yeah, I wish the idea of physical distancing had been mine, but that idea came from Michelle Pakinski Brock, and as I said, I've seen her several times at conferences, and that's one of the key things that she emphasizes. Anybody else? How you have connected with others, even when self-isolating.
Nina says, learn to use Microsoft Teams to do a virtual learning session with new education tool.
Mm.
Daniel Miroff says, we are doing our 1-year and 3-year-old circle times via Zoom. And we are doing family yoga on Zoom too.
Nice, nice. Yeah,
Ronald Johnson, family phone conference calls, team WebEx meetings,
excellent, excellent.
academic support, WebEx sessions, and actual phone call.
Yeah, yeah, really, a real honest to goodness phone call. Yeah, we do that some, don't we? And I believe it was Daniel that mentioned the two little ones. It is so hard to figure out how to make sense of this for little ones. I mean, it's something that they will look back on and know that they were a part of history in the making, but for them to have any idea of what's going on or why right now. I have a 5-year-old that I spend time with, and it's, I mean, she knows the words to say, but I don't think she has a clear understanding of what they mean. So any other comments? Meaningful connection.
Yes. Nina says there are a lot of free resources companies are offering right now. Vetting those is important before we can suggest it to our students.
Oh gosh, yes, absolutely. Absolutely. I've gotten really good at clicking delete. But
Mhm.
there are some good ones, and I know what organizations to take a closer look at what they are sharing. Yeah, good thoughts. Thank you.
Scott A says the words you choose to share when interacting allow for you to bring people together or to keep them distant. For instance, what we are going to do today rather than what you need to do today. My cats also often come to class, allowing me to humanize self and not be a dead screen.
Yep. My cat, I thought she was going to come join me just a few minutes ago, but she crawled up in her little, I think I'm going to take a nap space. But yes, my cat spends a good deal of time on my lap while I'm working. Yeah, and that makes it. I've often picked her up and shared her in my videos. Yes, and I love your comment about our use of language and how that makes a huge difference. Man, doesn't it ever? it annoys me even to hear, I don't, to hear on the radio when they're referring to the whatever negative terms, I don't even know now, whatever negative terms they use to refer to all of this. It just is, that's it. Excellent. Any other comments, Emily?
Nicole said, yes, my cats often join me.
Yes, absolutely. And they are an important part of our families, to be sure. Yeah, yeah. Okay, let's see here. So I wanted to share some ideas about reflections with you, and that's what that was. This is from some information from uh, Dr. Pakensky Brock, that the term humanizing is something that we have heard off and on, but heard a lot more in the last few weeks. And that's when our students relate to us, and not just as the teacher or the person on the other end of the computer, but as part of our community of learners. And when they feel like they're a part of that, they're going to be more involved. They're going to be motivated, and they're going to be more willing to take part in what's going on. So makes it relevant, and helps improve what they have. This is again is some information from Michelle Pakinski Brock, and everything that she does through a Creative Commons license, because she feels that it's important for us to share and spread the word out. So for her, facilitation for humanizing the online environment is has to do with the teacher presence. We're not robots, and they know that. We bring the cats in. I had a feeling there was going to be some noise. They're working in the apartment below, and I was afraid that was going to come through. But that is what it is. So, and this is, the videos are a huge part of the presence. So her recommendation is the welcome video, feedback with audio or video. And I know several of you who are here already do that. And that is a key and important piece of it. Greet them with that video, regular meeting time, and make yourself available for synchronous meetings for any of those who need it. The second part of that facilitation is empathy, and that we have really kicked it up a notch here over the last month or so. Have a sense of when those students need some extra support. Check in with the students, and we've all talked about doing that in multiple ways over the last several weeks. Check in. I need to know that you are okay. I'm not after you to do your homework. I want to know that you're okay and how things are going with you, and acknowledge that they are challenged. They definitely are challenged, and give them support through these challenges. And when you know there's a specific student who's struggling with something, send them a little, hey, I just my cat and I wanted to tell you hello today. And then the third part of the facilitation is the awareness, knowing your students, and with all of us, this happened far enough into the semester that we all have a pretty good idea of who our students are and how they are doing. Although that said, I'm not sure how that happens in those class sizes of 100 plus, but you still have a pretty good idea on the students. So, one of her recommendations was survey students right at the beginning of whenever this happened, and then we have a semester beginning soon too. a low risk icebreaker to get the students connected. That's one of the things that I always do in my face-to-face classes and in the synchronous versions of my classes, is something that, just a little quick something. It may or may not have anything to do with the content. And then the formative feedback loops. So those are some facilitation formats, ways that she suggests. Emily, I think I saw a couple of things come through.
Yeah, Daniel Miroff says the video background often lets the viewers into a little bit of my personal life.
Yeah.
And then Nancy Shahada agrees. So true. Our students do learn a little about us due to our backgrounds in our video session.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely. Absolutely. I was those and it's an interesting perspective. The other thing that I have noticed is, and I'm trying to be conscious of it with mine, is the tendency to be way closer to the camera than we usually are when we're face to face. That was just an observation that I had made. Yeah, thank you. Thanks. Anything else? All right. So here's a remember this. There are no experts. What we are going through is totally uncharted territory. And I know you're all fabulous, but we're doing things differently now. You may not be as fabulous as you usually are, just almost. Okay. And that we are all in this together. I was running an errand the other day, and as I pulled up to where I was picking up the items that were waiting outside for them to put in my trunk for me, they had that painted on a cardboard sign propped up outside. We will get through this together. Such an important, such a valuable opportunity. Lean on your peers. We are all here to help and support each other. And this was from a presentation actually recently. If you're going to give yourself grace, you're going to pardon yourself for something maybe not coming up as fabulous as you would like it, do the same for your students, because they are, after all, going through the same, or actually probably some more intense things than many of us are. So the idea of social presence is another one of the key points that is important for being active and engaged in the online environment. So that is, by this research definition, the degree of which a person is perceived as a real person. Our students now are definitely coming to the realization that there really is someone who cares on the other side of that computer. So, and that social presence provides higher student satisfaction. Again, research-based, provides more frequent student-to-student interactions and increased actual and perceived learning. Emily, was there a comment?
Examples of low-tier icebreakers for students.
Oh, yeah, sure. I'll make myself a note.
And then Nicole also had a comment she says, I think this goes back to family as well with physical distancing. We can apply these tips to family, coworkers, and fellow faculty as we are all in this together. It is a common experience.
Absolutely, a common experience that no one has had before. So it's new to everyone. This is one of the suggestions that came from a message from Dr. Pacansky-Brock, and I thought it was really incredible. So have a learning pact, and this, where we are coming to the beginning of a semester that is going to be an online semester, and we know that going into it, is creating a learning pact, letting them know exactly what they can expect from you And in this case, these things are more than just the usual, I'm your instructor and here's what I'm going to provide for you, but letting them know that you're supportive, that you can share ideas, that you're guiding them in their learning, but more importantly, willing to treat them with dignity and respect and acknowledge that I am just human and I make mistakes. And I use those mistakes as a chance to learn and grow. And so then, uh, with that pact, what I'm expecting from you is being an active participant and treating others with the same dignity and respect, and knowing that we're all going to be making mistakes. I thought this was really a great idea. So set it up, put it into a discussion post, and let your students interact, have a conversation about it. I like that. I loved this one. I still get a check, but how many of my students won't? So that provides the motivation. The motivation. Many, at least half of the class that I'm currently teaching are prospective new teachers, excited and enthusiastic teachers within the next year and a half or so. And many of them work aftercare. So I know they don't have that salary coming. So what motivates you? And I'm going to invite you to put some comments in the chat, or let Jade unmute you and speak up and share. What is it that motivates you?
So Jennifer says, my dog pawing at my face.
Yep, yep.
Joreen Jameson says, having a purpose.
Yes.
And
Yes.
Jennifer adds again, and really helping students.
Yes, absolutely. Knowing that we are doing something that supports them, that helps them. I am have often been, which I think is one of the things about what we're going through. I've often been moved to tears by the degree to which the students are willing to step up to the plate.
Scott A says, I have a garden and I start each day by sending a picture of my new flowers to welcome a group of fellow teachers to the new day.
Oh, nice.
Nina says, right now, the support of my church community gives me hope and motivation.
Mm-hmm, absolutely. That whatever our spiritual support uh, is a really good place to turn now, as well as the communities within the emotional intelligence community. I belong to one of those, and it's a really important uh, motivator for me.
And Nancy Shahada adds, it is inspiring to see how students have dealt with everything this semester. They really motivate me.
Isn't that amazing? Yeah, I love that. I mean, these are kids, really, and being able to deal with that, kids that, you know, kids that have challenges at home, if indeed there is a home, and kids that have a lot going on. It's incredible. It really is. And so this is a quote from Brene Brown, and she has quite a bit of research and support on the ideas of being vulnerable, and what it means and how we respond. And if we respond in a way of shutting ourselves off from that, then we also shut ourselves off from the opportunities that it provides, the creativity, the risk taking, the opportunities for innovation. And boy, have we seen a lot of innovation over the last few weeks about coming up with new ways of making things happen for our students, for ourselves, for our families, and for our communities. Really, it has been such an amazing event. So you've got this. You've got this. This is a reminder, and I will make sure that the links go out for you in the other information. But for faculty who need additional, want to keep themselves more current and up to date, the Keep Teaching site with FAU, and the Keep Learning site for our students as resources for all of us in order to help move ourselves through. So I thank you. I want to open up again for any other comments. Thank you for joining today. Thank you for sharing your path on this journey. Thank you for your dedication to your students. And thank you for just plain being amazing. It really is, it's heartwarming. It is.
Nina says, thank you, Judy, for sharing the quote. A book by Brene Brown called The Gifts of Imperfection has been really good during this time.
Oh, thank you. I'm always looking for a good inspirational, motivational book. Gifts of Imperfection.
Irma Bennett says, thank you, Judy, and all who joined this webinar. Our students are vitally important in the scheme of helping the university move forward and make advancements. Without our students, we have no purpose in whatever roles we play within the university.
Absolutely. And we're here for them. And I like to keep that foremost in my mind, that's, our student success is why we're here. Absolutely. Yeah, thank you.